Мама, я в телевизоре.
Do you know what happens when a devil is struck down on this charming plane of existence? It returns to the hells, to the very point where it last stood before venturing to whichever devil-forsaken plane it died on. In the case of our friend Yrgir, the Orthon you so handily dispatched in the Temple of Shah, he manifested in my House of Hope. He returned to me chastened but intact, his wounds healed, his body restored. He thought I would dismember him, but he has his uses, so instead I am re-educating him.
We delivered the devil. Now I want what I'm owed. We had a deal.
Indeed we did. I discovered all there is to know about those scars of yours. It's a rather grim tale, even for my tastes. As you wish. Brace yourself, Astarion. We're about to unveil your destiny. As you know already, your precious skin is home to one part of a contract between the archdevil Mephistopheles and your former master, Cazador Zar. In full, the contract states that Cazador will be granted knowledge of an infernal ritual so vile it has never been performed. The rite of profane ascension. It promises to be a marvelous ceremony, very elaborate, incredibly ancient, and entirely diabolical. If he completes the rite, he will become a new kind of being, the Vampire Ascendant. All the strengths of his vampiric form will be amplified, and alongside them he will enjoy the luxuries of the living. The arousals and appetites of man will return to him, and unlike Astarion, he will have no need of a parasite to protect him from the sun. But the ritual has its price, as all worthwhile things do. Lord Cazador will need to sacrifice a number of souls, including all of his vampiric spawn, if he is to ascend. Imagine how he felt then, when one of those precious spawns simply disappeared into thin air. The only missing ingredient is Astarion. You are the final piece he requires to complete the ritual. Your scars bind you to it. Your soul will set off a very wave of death, bringing Cazador his twisted life. And that, my tragic and toothsome friend, is that. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have business elsewhere.
It's a lot to take in. What do you think I should do?
Что происходит? Что это такое?
The end of my life amongst them, just when I was starting to enjoy it. He'll never leave me alone. I didn't think he would when I was just one more wretched toy for him to play with. But if I'm the key to this power he craves, he'll hunt me to the ends of Faerun. I need to take the fight to him. And I need you to help me. Thank you.
It seems like Cazador used Astarion's flesh not as a canvas, but as a contract. We haven't heard the last of this, I'll wager. You wanted something? I'm sorry. It might be best kept until later. I'd be a poor counsel and worse company just now.
I need a moment for the two of us.
Full-fledged vampires are not so easily slain. Astarion's master will be no exception. Fortunate for him, slaying monstrous fanatics is a pastime of ours.
Our very own vampire's the missing pawn in his master's deadly game. Now, how about we go and reverse Cazador's fortunes?
Wish I could say I was surprised about Cazador's pact. Where blood, death, and betrayal parade, you can bet your ass a devil is riding Grand Marshal. We're going to keep Astarion safe. On my life, Cazador won't touch him.
О, что все такие милые.
I can't imagine how Astarion must be feeling. The terms of your own condemnation carved into your skin. A monster's actions. And monsters do not deserve such power as that ritual promised. When the time comes, Astarion will have his revenge, I'm sure. And it will be richly deserved. But not yet. So, what can I do for you?
The dog wags his tail, a small bag clenched between his teeth. He gives in and surrenders his find to you. Scratch's tongue lolls out happily, his tail wagging even faster.
Gods, you're beautiful. I was just wondering when you'd invite me back for a bite. Before anything else, I need to know where it's happening. To the public, Cazador is an ordinary noble. A little reclusive, perhaps, but just another of the great and the good of Baldur's Gate. He has a grand palace on the hills of the gate, where he hosts the city's high society. I don't know if he'd perform the ritual there. It feels too public. He'd risk exposure. I know. Subtle, isn't it? I hope so. Because I'm not striking another deal with Raphael. Knows what he'd demand this time. But if the citizens of Baldur's Gate don't know anything, my brothers and sisters might. Cazador is a master of secrets, but the other spawn must have seen something.
Light on my feet. The General will call that a tactical retreat, I'm sure. But you have him on the run.
That thing he summoned was illicit. Follow it below and find him, before he has a chance to subdue the night song again. I certainly do. Theory and supposition, none of which will help us in the fight to come. Ketterick must die, and the Absolute with him. We will work out the details as they rear their ugly heads. You have numbers enough already, I think. You'll want a small force if you are to finish this quickly. Good hunting.
The hole yawns back at you, impossibly wide. A single tentacle burrowed through stone.
This must be where they harvest the tadpoles. We're close to the source of the infections.
All of this, sitting beneath moonrise. For how long? And how deep does it go?
This place brings back the worst memories. It's like being kidnapped all over again.
This place is an illithid stronghold. Let's finish what we came here to do and get out.
We're in decidedly unfamiliar territory now. Keep up the pressure and stay alert. We need to find Thorm.
No time for mercy.
Tread carefully. We are very close to the source of the Absolute now. That telepathic storm has become a tempest.
These symbols are nonsense to me. So why can't I read them?
Descend. Obey. Evacuate.
The stench. I wonder how many pilgrimages to Moonrise ended down here.
No will sparks behind his eyes. His mind has been hollowed out to better echo the commands of the collective. You could kill it, end its miserable life of enslavement. Surely that would be the humane thing to do. Or you could take advantage of its vulnerability and plunder what's left of its hollow mind for anything that could serve you. Pliant as well-worn boots, his mind turns to his work. Chop, cut, sort, shiver of impact, crack of bone. He removes the brains, digs free the squirming tadpoles. The unworthy ones given over to the illithids to become.
Part of one mind. 4 little feet dancing to same song.
With a lurch, you realize he means the intellect devourers. Here, the brains are harvested, made part of the hive mind.
But there is one little kitty dances to another song. Same song as you. Locked up. Bad kitty. Thinks it is. Other nursery. Here they become. Chop, chop. Help them become. Master. No. Down deep. 1 of 3. 1 of 3.
My design.
No! No touch! It is wrong. Other. It sings wrong song, but same song as you. Sing other song together then, but away from here.
We are free! Thank you, friend. But perils remain, near and far. Better to stay together. You and us, we will remain with you. Call us, and we will be at your side.
Only chop, chop, chop.
So this is where Moonrise dumps its ways.
This way.
Shouldn't have wished to live in more interesting times. Cursed to put my hands on everything. Wonder if the gods are watching me.
Excellent.
As the console bursts into life, a mind touches your own. Alien and full of desperate need, but fragmented too. It is incomplete. It yearns to connect, but needs you to guide the process, linking each part of your mind to its like. Glows as you approach, the mind still desperately yearning for connection. It is incomplete. It yearns to connect, but needs you to guide the process, linking each part of your mind to its like.
2,000 years later.
Welcome back, Master.
That should do it. Time to see what's back there. I'll take that.
Prepare the march. Our destiny, design, downfall.
Your tadpole echoes, not with presence, but memory, tinged with loss.
The grand design, order, perfection, unity, every plane as one, every being in their place.
That loss blooms into a sudden fury, burying claws in your mind.
Taken, corrupted, gone.
And just as suddenly, pain and memory are gone, leaving only stone once more.
The grand design. The restoration of the Mind Flayer Empire. The dream of all Illithids.
I feel glorious. An eye patch. Wonder who it belongs to. Or belonged to. Ah, well, good feelings never last, I suppose.
If not over, then through.
Descend, assemble. Descend, prepare, obey.
Mind Flayers and civilians. Side by side. This must be where they infect and transform those they kidnap.
The device releases a stream of fragmented memories and emotions. All that remains of the pod inhabitant's former self. Courage, conviction, defiance. Even as her organs began to dissolve, she believed she could resist. You remember the shattered windows of Elturel's high cathedral, the burning black sky of Avernus beyond. In its horror, the blood war unites you. Tiefling, dwarf, and elf alike huddle behind the shields of your paladin order, waiting for salvation. But when it comes, disunity, the returned city casts your people out, the devils who drag them down to hell. In the end, it is not your paladin oath that is broken. It is your faith itself. Delirium, mania, laughter. His mind broke before the end, and he was laughing uncontrollably as the skin fell from his face. Your tadpole forms a telepathic connection with the device, and a chorus of static energy fills your mind. Every mind flayer in the room calls out hungrily from its pod, seeking release and sustenance. But there are others in the pods, those not yet infected, not yet illithid, terrified, desperate to escape. The device is open to your tadpole's command, to your authority.
Going to make it. Thank you. I owe you an explanation. Much more than that. But first, please, the others, the ambush. Tell me they survived. You've heard some of it, I'm sure. That I froze, or broke, or some other lie that is kinder than the truth. We were ambushed by cultists, yes. And then I heard her, their false god, whispering promises in my mind. I would be a paladin again, with a god's purpose, a god's power. Everything I needed to protect my people. And all the while, the cult tortured them. They fought and ran and died around me, while I imagined myself their savior. By the time I regained my senses, it was too late. I did not just surrender to the Absolute. For a moment, I welcomed it. Until I realized what I'd done. Perhaps I fought. I don't recall. Either way, I was deemed unworthy of becoming a true soul. I won't make excuses. I can't make amends. But I know something of what you came to do. I want to help, if you'll let me. Ketterick is below. He thinks you're no longer a menace. Descend and show him how wrong he is. If there are any more survivors to be found, I'll find them and lead them out of this place. Only if you can trust it won't be buried in your back. The Absolute swayed me once before. I won't risk it happening again. Go, my friend. Please, let me do this much.
A couple of those flayers were comrades of mine. I'd have been trying to suck your brains out along with them, if you'd arrived any later.
Huh. What a stench. I'm beginning to think I should have stayed in that pod. In there it only smelled like me. Is there any news about Duke Ravengard? Did he get out alive? No. Tell by your expression. Gonna have to fall on my sword, aren't I?
Though the pod is empty, traces of psychic energy still linger about it. And memories of its former inhabitants spill into your mind. You see the streets of Baldurs Gate, the emblem of the flaming fist, martial drills and courtly dances. You feel the courage of a soldier who became a commander, and the intelligence of a commander who became a duke. Ravengard was here, in this pod not long ago. This pod is empty, bereft of memories, but for a single waft of frustrated fury.
Moving ahead.
Brine pools, but empty of tadpoles. Unusual. Harvesting all the larvae indicates they are getting ready for something big.
This place is an illithid stronghold. Let's finish what we came here to do and get out.
No traps, please.
General Thorm was attacked. The order to evacuate given. You should not be here. I conclude you are one of the attackers. have no need for a throne. You could merely get in the way. Go on, make yourself useful somewhere. If you cannot manage that, just stay out of the way.
Heed the mistress. She is blessed.
The end is coming. Do you feel it?
Your violence hasn't gone unnoticed. It's about to be returned in kind.
We will take the city, every soul made true.
Descend. Evacuate.
A whole fleet of nautiloids. How many true souls have passed through this place? Is anyone else's tadpole squirming around a lot more than usual?
Mine too. It senses something down there. Something big.
No longer a background murmur. The presence in your mind builds to a roar.
We found it. The Absolute is behind this door.
You take a worried pause. You didn't free the devil Mizora sent Will for. If you walk through the door, he will die. And his soul will be Mizora's eternally.
Oh, shit.
Pod.
By Grazit's cock, it's about time you came. Go on and gloat. Bow to your pretend crowd. All done? Good. Now, enough sniffing around and get me out of this thing. be damned. You want to free the pup from his pact. And you thought that idiotic display would do it. Oh, bravo. Fine, I'll play your game. But I amend the pact. Clause F, Section 9. Soulbinder shall bestow reward or favor only upon soul bearers' fulfillment of related obligation. Now, open the pod.
Your eyes turn to the control panel next to the pod. It has 2 devices marked with elithid symbols. The controls are open to your tadpole's command, to your authority. The symbol's meaning comes into focus. Annihilate. You recognize the marking from the Nautiloid, an elithid symbol meaning unleash.
Good work. I'd give you a gold star, but I'm fresh out. As for the pact... Clause Z, Section 13. If the Soulbinder consents to separation, she will release the Soul Bearer from all obligation within 6 months.
6 months until he's free? You little rat.
Ignorant thing. It's always the terms and conditions that get you. Not going to happen, but I do like your spunk. Right. I'm out of here. I need a long bath. I'll leave you to your very serious business. But don't you fret. If you survive this place, I'll find you. The pup will be needing me. Count on it. Oh, and ask Will how we met. I've loosened his tongue. It's real cracker of a tale. Ta-ta.
His play.
Will's devil is a sly little wretch. I'll give her that.
You'd think I'd have more sympathy for someone trapped in a pod, but perhaps we should have left Mizora where we found her.
No longer a background murmur. The presence in your mind builds to a roar.
We found it. The Absolute is behind this door.
You said it was under control.
It isn't you I answer to, Gortash.
Motherfucker. Gortash.
Oh, the general voice. Is this where we salute?
Salute, yes. With cleavers through his blood-starved flesh. How it crawls with failure, like flies on lick-wet carrion.
You forget yourself, Orin. I have played my part.
You built an army for our masters, true enough. But what of the astral prison? A rogue true soul flaunting it under your nose all this time, and you ran from her.
Sure that they would follow and deliver it into my hands here. If you would cease these distractions.
The distractions have been yours, Ketterick. Perhaps we never should have dug your daughter up. So you haven't lost your edge. But you're still not as sharp as Orin, I wager. The Slayer against the Undying One.
That'd be fun to see.
His crypt breath sings to my sinews again, 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 again. But he must lead the murder march to Baldur's grave.
If the weapon is truly in your grasp, Ketterik, might I suggest closing your fist? Orin and I can wait for you no longer. The plan proceeds. We're going to the city, and we expect you to follow. Army and the weapon in tow.
The Edict of Bane.
The Lash of Thor!
The Testament of Merkel! An elder brain. One of the cruelest and most powerful creatures in existence. Enslaved by mere mortals.
There we are. It wouldn't do to fight in front of our guest. Behold, Duke Ravengard, the Absolute.
Whom preserve us?
You wag your word flap in vain, olderling. Once the worm holds the whip, your shredded flesh will serve us.
Now, it's really time we were going. We will empty this place and begin the march. You may catch up with the army once you've retrieved the weapon. And Ketterik, do try not to sulk. You're supposed to be the fearsome general come to conquer the city. And I am the hero who will save it.
It is time, faithful ones. March on Baldur's Gate. We go to prepare the way!
There you are, as predicted. What is it, I wonder, that draws one toward death like a moth to light? You could have run away, absconded with the prism. The one thing that could prevent me from fulfilling my destiny. But the lure of one's destiny is irresistible, isn't it? Perhaps you hope to learn your place in history before you are erased from it. A bright flash of clarity before the snuffing out. Your place is to die so that I might finally live. Let us speak plainly. My Lord Merkel gave me the one thing I desired, the one thing no other god could grant me. My daughter's life returned. Her heart beating once more. For that, he asked that I serve as his chosen. Join Orin and Gortash to grow the cult of the Absolute, and then take control of it. He's never had a more devoted follower. I have fought great wars before, in the service of other gods and other powers. But for Merkel, I would condemn all of Faerun to death. You are all that stands between me and my destiny. And you have brought the prism here. I will kill you now. And then I will raise you as my servant. Yes. Join the army of the dead, true soul. Witness Lord Merkel's glory.
So long as Night Song's in that cage, Ketterik will keep getting back up.
What a fool you are. You cannot kill me. I am eternal. Merkel, Lord of Bones, I am here. I am ready. I am yours. You dare end one who belongs to me. I am the smile of the world-cleansed skull. I am the regrets of those who remain, and the restlessness of those who are gone. I am the haunt of mausoleums, the god of graves and age, of dust and dust. I am Merkel, Lord of Bones, and you have slain my chosen. But it is no matter, for I am death, and I am not the end. I am the beginning.
Shit.
Now you wear a face to match your soul.
Oh, you touch my tra-la-la. My ding-ding-dong. Impossible. Death cannot take me. I am its master. My lord, hear me. Nothing. I am forsaken. You have no idea what you've done. Isabel.
Now, we pick our way toward our fates, unleashed.
You have my sword, my fealty. Do what you must. Then we fly this foul place.
It's not every day you get to kill the chosen of a god.
Ketheric's netherstone. It's in his armor. Take it.
In death, the body is cooling, but energy radiates from the stone.
Remarkable. Truly. Now the picture comes together. The Absolute is neither god nor man. It is the elder brain you saw, held here by those three against its will. The crown it wears controls it, and these stones control the crown. it has been dominated. To master an elder brain, to subdue it, our enemies are formidable. A temporary reprieve, but a welcome one. With the brain on its way to the city, its influence here is weakened.
I believe you fought and defeated an avatar of Merkel, the god of necromancy. A remarkable feat. Ketterick was Merkel's chosen.
I know Lord Enver Gortash, an arms dealer and a slaver. He is a worshipper of Bane, the god of tyranny. The other is a mystery to me, but the way she spoke, it's most likely she follows Baal, the god of murder.
Which means the Absolute is a front for the gods of death. And our enemies are chosen of the dead three. The crown's markings suggest it was forged in Netheril, an ancient empire whose mastery over magic rivaled that of the gods. It is a crown of domination. The stones were taken from its crest. They are nether stones, imbued with the ability to control the wearer of the crown. The crown's Netherese magic must be the true source of the parasite's abilities. This must be what elevates their potential. And it must be the reason nobody could heal you. If the crown can do this to the parasites, I dare not imagine what it is doing to the brain.
Hope is a luxury for those who have a choice.
This is the battle of our lives, and the lives of everyone in Faerun.
The army of the Absolute is marching on Baldur's Gate.
Within the city, an elder brain brimming with power, ready to turn everyone within its reach into mind flayers. All it needs is an order.
An order the Death Gods chosen are on the cusp of giving. We must wrest control of the brain from the chosen before that happens. We must take their stones. Our chances of success are slim, but we must not fail. If we fail, everything ends. I will be your shield, but you must be the sword. And when the chance to strike comes, you must take it. For there may only be one chance.
The transformation Ketterick underwent was horrifying. There was barely anything of the man left, even before we finished him.
He's dead. He's finished. But Gortash was here.
Ketterick's Thorm is no more. And may he stay dead this time.
You saw Gortash, didn't you? What the fuck was he doing down there? Is all of this because of him? The tadpole, the Absolute. How? I'd never have protected a Banite even a decade ago. I looked after that fucker with my life. I trusted him. He gave me away to Zariel without a second thought. And now he's looking to ruin the entire Sword Coast. He has to die. And I'm gonna be the one who kills him. You bet your ass I am. And I won't stop till that fucker is dead.
Helen! Isabel! My love. You were dead. I saw your body.
I'm here. And so are you. And my father, he can't hurt us any longer.
I dreamt every night that you'd come back to me. That somehow it was all a nightmare Dawn would undo.
I had no dreams at all. Nothing but darkness. And when I woke, my father said you were dead.
His soul was poisoned by the god of death. His sick devotion ruined him. But for all his sins, he brought you back to me. Are you all right?
I will be. And you?
In this moment, I want for nothing.
Ah, there you are. This is Aelin. Aelin, this is...
Oh, but we have met. This is the soldier that freed me most valiantly from the Shadowfell. They watched my boot crush the very brain of villainy, and fought well against your changed father.
May he rest in peace at last, now that he's dead. I have more to thank you for than I knew. And we have much to discuss. Perhaps we could join you in your camp later? I am. And I'm glad he's dead. But this is precisely what I want to speak to you about later. It'll keep. I promise. Very good. We look forward to it.
Now you will leave us. We must take succor in one another's bodies and words.
Aelin! We'll see you later.
Ой, дамочки, мой лагерь всегда к вашим услугам, пожалуйста. Мы можем даже пару тел выгнать, если вам будет мало места.
You prevailed, my friend. Now your path takes you to Baldur's Gate. But I cannot join you. Out there, the curse still thrives. I failed this place. Now I must remain behind and stand watch over it.
Да, спасибо за помощь, Хальсин, конечно. Ты прям очень полезен был.
This place needs me. I wish it were different. I truly do. As long as the curse remains, so must I.
Нафиг мы его вообще спасали? Он 0 пользы принес. 0. Хальсин, ты чё?
You'd make a fine fist.
Our enemies spread like rub rot. Treat one patch, and 2 more bloom in its place. An elder brain, bound by lost Netherese magic, with servants of the dead 3 holding the chain. Reminds me of old times. More than anyone should. But I never dreamed I'd see the dead 3 working in consort with Illithids. It is most disturbing. But take courage. We have killed a man who could not die, and stripped the Absolute's army of its general. You have a Netherstone, and you're on the scent of 2 more. These Chosen have reason to fear you, and I would like to be at your side when you confront them. Of course, falling foul of Ketterick convinced me that my grand adventures were behind me. That even if I survived, I should hang up my blades. But you convinced me otherwise. We ventured into darkness together. Now we've come out the other side. I'd say I'm feeling a little refreshed. When we reach Baldur's Gate, there will be even darker paths to tread. I will follow you wherever they lead. You're amply reinforced already. I'll let the new blood do all the running around. For now. With the Absolute's army gone, the Risen Road should be clear. We can follow it all the way to Baldur's Gate. There's a Harper's safe house in Worm's Crossing. Denthelin's Dancing Axe. We do well to check in with them before entering the city proper. Beyond that, our course is yours to set. I can recall how to take orders, as well as give them.
The shadows yet fester. The dead three united under cover of darkness. The balance shifts. There are depths to this alliance yet unplumbed. Consider, mortal. Do Illithids possess souls? No. Nor canst thou count mind flayers among them. Yet, the three amass an Illithid army void of apostolic souls that could imbue them with power. A flock without souls, yet to what end, mortal? This is the question thou must come to answer. Until such time, be availed of my services. Yes, Bane, Lord of Darkness, Baal, Lord of Murder, Merkel, Lord of Bones. Once judged, ascended, then vanquished as one. And as three, the alliance is reforged, mortal. The plains thus quake, and the gods shudder. Where matters of balance are concerned, I am eternally cold. No.
Just like that hulking bear to stomp off in a huff. I swear, druids care more about the plants of this land than the people.
На Хальсина бесится так.
Pity about Hälsin. I was getting used to having an extra strong around. He smelled nice too, like outside.
Она уже понюхала, посмотрите-ка. Вот с кем ты обнималась.
He got his claws into me early. I was a wild kid, brawling my way through the city. One of my mates got wind of a bit of work guarding some indoorsy type with lots of enemies. Seemed like easy money, so I went in for it. He took one look at me and said I was perfect. I like that. Not like that, you know. Just, it felt like a good fit. I kept him safe, and he paid me well. Well enough to move my folks into a better neighborhood and put something away for the future. My future. I respected him, trusted him. And he returned that trust, that respect. His life was in my hands, and I took that seriously. The whole thing with Zauriel happened so fast. I had no idea what had gone down until it was over. 1 minute I was in Baldur's Gate, a happy, healthy, not quite kid.
The next, I was burning up in Avernus with an engine for a heart. Zariel laughed. Said she paid him well for my services. She'd wanted to test her new machine, and he said I'd be able to handle it. He was right. Sometimes I wish he weren't. Evil, evil bastard.
Ну все, девочка моя, ему конец. Конец, конец.
This land remains cloaked by Lady Shah's power. Good. A shame it cost us Hальсин as a traveling companion, though. He may have been misguided, but I liked looking at him. You wanted something?